Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? What a day. Well, this is going to be an interesting interesting day for damn sure. Who knows what will happen because we're supposed to have someone come by, bust holes in the wall, put in some new water pipe, and that's supposed to take all day. Plus, they have to dig up the old stuff. So, who the hell knows what's going to happen with this? It's going to be crazy. Good stuff. Morning, Brandon. How are you doing, brother? It is. I hope that you're having a good day. Man, my laptop camera keeps blinking, acting funky. And then there were two, but now there's four. Good to see you. Oh man. So let's see what we got here this morning. I don't know. Do you guys know what pulse squats are? I mean, here I'll give you an example of what pulse squats look like. This is pretty interesting. So I saw this thing come in my feed. It has been a few days ago. It came in my feed, and I was like, "What in the hell are they? Is this girl supposed to be doing?" So this is what a pulse squat is. I'll just show you. So this is a pulse squat, just so you have an idea. This is a pulse squat. Okay, pretty straight up. Get down. Your legs are about 45-degree angles, and then you stand up. See, and you do that. You did that a few times. So the thing is there was this random porn star that came into a gym, and she got all internet famous, I guess, because of this, because this is what she did right here. So this is what she did.
Yeah, what do you do?
How does that look like a pulse squat, or whether it was 90 degrees, counted zero? uh, 45 degrees. Yeah, 45 degrees. So you go down, you get your legs bent at a 45-degree angle, and then you can stand back up. So looking at it from the side, stand back up. Yeah, she's not doing that. So dude comes in, he goes, "Yo, what you doing?" Like, "Hey girl, like I I, I think you need to not be sitting here doing this kind of stuff."
My leg day warm up?
So she calls it a leg warm up. Really? That's a leg warm up.
No, don't give me that bullshit. I know you know what you're doing.
Yeah, she comes in. He says, like, "Listen, I know what you're doing. It's 90. You need more coffee." Yeah, I can't count. So he's like, what's going on? Like, you need to stop this stuff because I'm not going to be your Instagram playground where you can do this kind of stuff.
So actually, a leg day warm up? No, you're actually you realize you're actually calling girls. You're actually calling girls. Are you pointing at me? Yeah. Stop. This is fucking ridiculous. Don't come to my gym and do this shit. Keep this online, bro. Don't fucking do this on my gym. Don't fucking.
And then just kicks her phone over. And of course, this makes her Instagram instantly famous because, oh, oh, so horrible. I'm so mistreated. Well, and then of course, once she's so horribly mistreated, this is her this is her response. Oh, this is always fun stuff. Right here. A young woman posted a video of a man interrupting her in a gym session, claiming it was proof women aren't safe in 2024. That's not what he said. I know what you're doing. You're coming into my gym. You're filming stuff, and you're just causing problems. Adult content creator Maud, or I guess it's Maddie Ruby or something like that, was filming herself performing a pulse squat at a gym with a medicine ball. That was not a pulse squat. Sorry. Showed you the pulse squat. That was not a pulse squat. He's like, "What are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. So Miss Ruby is a porn star. She charges fans $11 to view her explicit content. That she was an example of what is wrong with girls. Well, there she is. Like, hooray. He also added that she should keep that kind of behavior online, branding it ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. He then appears, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't care. He then appears to kick her phone as he walks away, smashing the screen. She posted the exchange online has amassed millions of views on TikTok, and she said she couldn't believe she was shamed for innocently stretching at the gym. A pulse squat is not stretching. She also asked her followers if they thought the behavior was fair and that just because she's a sex worker doesn't mean she wasn't simply exercising. Yeah. Can't believe I'm not allowed to stretch at the gym because of what I do for work. No, that's not at all what it was about. Conversation quick turnly, people debating Miss Ruby's gym technique or whether she was right for interrupting her. Someone said this behavior is 100% valid because she wasn't stretching correctly, and others argued that while her moves may have looked provocative to some, she was just doing pulse squats. That's where she got the idea of pulse squats. I work at the gym. I've never seen anyone do what you're doing. Looks nothing like pulse squats. Of course, there was more online conversation about what she was filming in the gym, content for than the man's behavior. Some people were even saying the gym stretches were purposely sexual and therefore he had the right to intervene. Someone went so far as to comment that the stranger who interrupted her was a prime example of a real man. I don't know about that. I probably wouldn't have done that. I wonder if anyone will pay me $11 to film exercises. Yeah, there you go. Brandon says done. You got to take it to the floor, though, Mads. Take it to the floor. It's becoming increasingly common to see people filming themselves at the gym following the success of TikTok and Instagram. Suddenly, mundane spaces like gyms become places for people to create content. Why are cameras allowed at the gym? One question. Ban video recording in gyms. Cameras should be banned and there should be 100% be banned forever, another shared. Ms. Ruby replied to the outcry online and pointed out that she should be able to stretch at the gym without being told off. Well, I don't know what that means. Before I started OnlyFans, I was doing the same stretch before every leg day. Sure. And all the people saying that I deserve to have my phone kicked. I deserve to be harassed. No, she doesn't, because I was minding my business in the smallest corner of the gym. There's a rule that says no phones. No, there's not. Was it on a tripod? Was I being obnoxious? No, I wasn't. Was I being loud? No, it was really sad to me to see all these comments saying I deserve something because I went to the gym and was stretching. Miss Ruby also speculated that a stranger already knew who she was and that made him angry. I don't know about that. Let's see her face. You want to see her face? There's her face. There's her face again. And there's her face right there. So, I mean, you got boobies and face. Boobies, face. Boobies and face right there at the same time. I mean, I really don't know what it means. Like squat with ass touching the ground. I don't know. I mean, maybe he wants to see you stretching on the floor, something like this right there. I think that's what he's wanting to see. Regardless of what side of the debate you fall on, data shows that women regularly feel unsafe in gyms due to unwanted attention from males. Well, if you act like this, I'm sorry. If you're going to the gym, why are you putting on all the excess makeup? Because if you're there to work out, more than likely you're going to sweat all of that off. Like you wouldn't be showing up with all the eye makeup on and stuff like that. If you are, then they're there to get some sort of attention. Like almost 56% of women have faced harassment during their workouts. Well, I don't know, because I don't go to the gym to look at women. I mean, if someone's attractive, then you go, oh, That's attractive. While in separate studies, staggering 69% of women admit they do not feel safe or adjust their behavior when receiving unwanted attention from men while exercising. However, 90%, 92% of harassment cases in the gym go unreported. Oh, well, there you go. Or so they say. Speaking of unwarranted shit, oh, good Lord. Just listen to Little John. Get low. get real low. I want to get low. All right. Here we go. Prosecutors in New York, Trump's New York hush money criminal case. I don't know anything about a hush money criminal case, but asked a judge to impose a gag order on the former president ahead of next month's trial, citing that what they call is his long history of making public and inflammatory remarks about people involved in his legal cases. So their feelings get hurt and they want to make him be quiet. All right. Manhattan District Attorney's Office asked for what is described as a narrowly tailored order that would bar Trump from making or directing others to make public statements about potential witnesses or jurors, as well as statements meant to interfere with or harass the court staff, prosecution team, or their families. So that's stupid. The district attorney's office also seeking approval to show jurors the infamous Access Hollywood video made public in the final weeks of Trump's 2016 White House campaign, in which he bragged about grabbing women's genitals without asking for permission. He never said that. What he said is they let you do things. Big difference. Prosecutors contend that the release of the 2005 footage, followed by a flurry of women coming forward to accuse Trump of sexual assault, hastened his efforts to keep negative stories out of the press, leading to one of the hush money arrangements at the heart of the case. Trump lawyers wrote in court papers Monday that Access Hollywood video contains inflammatory and unduly prejudicial evidence that has no place in this trial about documents and accounting practices. Yo, what's up, Sean Bird? Good to see you. Glad you can make it in. Yo. The judge, Juan Manuel Machan, didn't rule immediately on the request. Jury selection is scheduled to start on March 25th. Barring a last-minute delay, it will be the first of Trump's 4 criminal cases to go to trial. Imposing a gag order on Trump would add restrictions to put in place after his arraignment last April. Wonderful. That prohibit him from using evidence in the case to attack witnesses. Why would you have restrictions to put in place after his arraignment last April that prohibit him from using evidence in the case to attack witnesses? I mean, prosecutors are also proposing that the names of jurors be kept from the public to minimize obstacles to jury selection and protect jury safety. Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that jurors are already allowed to, not have to worry about that. Trump isn't wrong. Without limits, prosecutors said Trump's rhetoric would create a significant and imminent threat to the trial by distracting personnel, diverting government resources, and delaying the administration of justice. Well, I mean, if you're being attacked, don't you have a right to respond? I mean, spokesperson for Trump's presidential campaign called the gag order request election interference, pure and simple, and called the hush money case a sham orchestrated by partisan politics, Democrats desperately attempting to prevent Trump from returning to the White House. Trump lawyer Susan Nichols, I guess that's right, said the defense will respond in court papers later this week. Manhattan case centers on allegations that Trump falsified internal records kept by his company to hide the true nature of his payments made to his former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen. Lawyer paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 as part of an effort during Trump's 2016 campaign to bury claims that he had extramarital sexual affairs. Well, did he? Don't know. Don't care. What does that have to do with anything? Hey, Lynn Dalton. Good to see you, girl. Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records, a felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison, though there is no guarantee that a conviction would result in jail time. Trump, the Republican presidential frontrunner, has lashed out about the case repeatedly on social media, warning of potential death and destruction before his indictment last year. Wow. Well, damn. Thanks, Trump. Now I know who caused all the death and destruction in my life this past month. Thanks, Trump, you asshole. Before his indictment last year, posted a photo on social media of himself holding a baseball bat next to a picture of District Attorney Alvin Bragg, and complaining that the judge merchant is a Trump-hating judge with a family full of Trump haters. Trump is already under a similar gag order in Washington, D.C. election interference criminal. Why don't they just say in his election interference case, and was fined $1,500 for twice violating a gag order imposed in his New York civil fraud trial after he made a disparaging social media post about the judge's chief law clerk. Well, was he wrong? In January, a Manhattan federal judge threatened Trump with expulsion from the court in a civil trial on writer Jean Carroll's defamation claims against him after he was heard saying it was a witch hunt and it really is a con job. Was he wrong? It sounds to me like I think he's hitting it pretty spot on. Self-regulation is not a viable alternative, as defendant's recent history makes plain. Has a long-standing, perhaps singular history of using social media, campaign speeches, and other public statements to attack judges, jurors, lawyers, witnesses, and other individuals involved in legal proceedings against him. Yeah, I mean, if people are attacking you, then maybe you have shit to say, knowing that, it's ridiculous that all these people are constantly doing this. And I guarantee you, if he was not running for office, if he wasn't running for president of the United States, none of these people would be doing any of this shit. Or you wouldn't even hear about it if they did. But because he is, that gives them plenty of opportunity to come after somebody with no proof. The requested gag order would not bar Trump from commenting about Bragg, an elected Democrat. Still, prosecutors contend that Trump's enmity, whatever, and for Bragg, including True Social posts calling Manhattan's first black DA a degenerate psychopath who hates the USA. Well, is he? I mean, I don't know him personally, but maybe he's right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know this Bragg dude whatsoever. But why would anybody go and make threats against the prosecutor? That just seems stupid. I don't condone that. Last year, prosecutors said police recorded 89 threats to Bragg, his family, or staff. Well, here's the thing. So little DA's getting constantly attacked. Just a single threat in 2022, and now he's getting 89. Well, think about this. How many threats has Trump received in the past, I don't know, 24 hours? I mean, you could just pull up anything on Twitter that talks about him, and he's probably gotten all kinds of flack from people that don't like him. And we're not talking just a couple, I'd say probably a couple million a day threats. I mean, some of them are just people that want to vent their frustration or how they don't like him and wish that he would, delete or whatever. But, that's nothing abnormal. I mean, that's the life of a politician. So you're going to get that crap. I mean, you can't please everybody. Good morning, Tootly Pip. Good to see you. Glad you could make it in. Being somewhat of a degenerate himself, he should tell you something if Trump calls you a degenerate. Exactly. That's about true. A few days later, prosecutors noted Bragg's office received a letter containing a small amount of white power and a note stating, "Alvin, I'm going to delete you." Well, that you should go after the person that did that. Don't go after Trump, because anybody could have been doing that for any reason. Trump is referred to a key witness in his case, his former lawyer Cohen, as a convicted felon, disbarred lawyer with zero credibility, and has made posts mocking Daniels. Well, I mean, there's a lot to mock there. The gag order request Monday mirrored portions of an order imposed on Trump in October in his separate Washington federal case, where he is charged with scheming to overturn the results of his 2020 election loss to Democrat rival Joe Biden. A federal appeals court, of course, in December largely upheld, either they did or they didn't uphold, like they upheld portions of it. Okay, that makes more sense. Gag order but narrowed it in an important way by freeing Trump to criticize special counsel Jack Smith, who brought the case. So that's probably what they want to have done. Manhattan prosecutors echoed that ruling by excluding Bragg from their proposed gag order. Okay. Last May, Merchant issued what is known as a protective order, warning Trump and his lawyers they risk being held in contempt if they disseminated evidence from the hush money case to third parties. Okay, well, I'm just wondering what that's supposed to mean. Why would you be held in contempt if you showed evidence from this case to third parties? I mean, wouldn't you want third parties to have a look at it and say, well, now posting sensitive material, that could do it. Like if you're like giving away someone's address or something like that, or phone number, that'd be crappy. Merchant, noting Trump's special status as a former president and current candidate, tried to make it clear at the time that the protective order shouldn't be construed as a gag order, saying it's certainly not my intention in any way to impede Mr. Trump's ability to campaign for the presidency of the United States. Well, going and backpedaling there, aren't we, really quick? Like, I'll put a gag order. Well, I can't put a gag order. Well, maybe I shouldn't do that because, well, geez, and it looks like I'm playing politics, and we gotta take the high road here because playing politics it's gonna be dangerous. Can't do that. Well, of course you can. They do all the time. Oh my Lord! Let me grab something here real quick. Oh my! No, I'm not grabbing that. Don't you dare! And open tab. There it is. I forgot to do something this morning because, well, I'm slow and old, and it happens. I tend to forget things quite often. There it is. All right, that's there. And hooray! Where is Farrell today? I don't know. She may be, working or on her way home or resting or getting dressed. I mean, she might be getting smexy with her lover. You never know. You never know where Farrell is. If Farrell shows up, then we always give her a warm invite. But I don't know. I don't know where Farrell is today. Oh my. Let's see. So here's another interesting story that I found today. So this one is ex-FBI informant charged with lying about Biden's to remain jailed while he awaits trial. So a former FBI informant charged with fabricating a multi-million-dollar bribery scheme involving Joe Biden's family must remain behind bars while he awaits trial. Reversing an earlier order releasing the man. I am a tulip. How are you? Fabricating reversed the order releasing the man. The U.S. District Judge Otis Wright in Los Angeles ordered Alexander Smirnov, that's funny, detention days after he was freed by another judge, then rearrested while meeting with his lawyers at their offices in Las Vegas. Wright said he did not believe that there were release conditions he could set that would guarantee that the man who has claimed to have ties to Russian intelligence would not flee the country. There's nothing garden variety about this case. I have not changed my mind. This man will be reprimanded pending trial. Smirnov, 43, pleaded not guilty to the charge accusing him of falsely telling his FBI handler that executives from the Ukraine energy company Burisma had paid Biden and Hunter Biden $5 million each around 2015. That claim becomes central to the Republican impeachment inquiry of President Biden in Congress. Damn dogs. So crazy. A different judge had released him from jail on a GPS monitoring after his February 14 arrest. Okay, but Wright ordered him to be taken back into custody last week after prosecutors asked to reconsider his detention. Wright said in a written order unsealed Friday that Smirnov's lawyers' efforts to free him were likely to facilitate his absconding from the United States. Wow. Shizzy, you're supposed to know where Farrell is at all times. We're stalker. I know. I am such a bad stalker. I just see. I don't worry. You know. I always put out an invite to certain people. If they want to show up, they show up. I don't stalk them. To me, that takes too much energy. I've got so many other things I have to deal with. Stalking Farrell is not one of them. I guarantee you. We have too much fun. Farrell does. No, definitely not going to do that. Prosecutor Leo Wise told Judge Monday that Smirnov could not be trusted to tell the truth to those monitoring his whereabouts if released from jail, noting that he was pushing a new false story about Hunter Biden during a meeting with investigators as recently as September. Prosecutors have accused Smirnov in court papers of actively peddling new lies that could impact U.S. elections. I mean, are they lies? Are they true? Are they false? Wise said the reason Smirnov was rearrested at his lawyer's office in Vegas is he had 9 firearms of his own. What does that have to do with anything? What was that? You tweeted out the bat signal for folks to come and join. Oh, thank you so much, Julie Pip. That is wonderful of you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Smirnov, who holds dual Israeli-U.S. citizenship, is charged by the same Justice Department Special Counsel, David Weiss, who has separately filed gun and tax charges against Hunter Biden. Smirnov was escorted into the courtroom Monday wearing an off-white jump pit. It's like okay. It makes me think of so Smirnov was escorted into the courtroom Monday wearing an off-white linen jumpsuit, jail jumpsuit, and black rimmed glasses. It just sounds so queer. I had to read it with that kind of voice because that's what it makes me think of. Defense attorney David Chesnoff, she's told reporters outside the courthouse after the hearing that he plans to go to the 9th U.S. District Court of Appeals to continue to push for his release. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, we do. We're expecting rain for the next few days, weeks, whatever. So I'm hoping they get this leak taken care of today. Yeah, they're supposed to come out and dig everything back out again today. Chesnoff, who told Judge Smirnov he was being held largely in isolation with access to a phone only once or twice a week, and it was needed to assist in his own defense. He intends to vigorously defend these allegations, having never been in trouble his entire life, Chesnoff said. In his ruling last week, releasing Smirnov, I get a kick out of the guy's name, on GPS monitoring, U.S. Magistrate Court Daniel Alberts in Las Vegas said he was concerned about the defendant's access to what prosecutors estimated as $6 million in funds, but noted that the federal guidelines required him to fashion the least restrictive conditions ahead of trial. Yeah. Today is National Fanny Get. Oh, yeah. Will and Grace. I don't know what that is. Jordan from Will and Grace. I don't know what's Will and Grace. I'm sorry. I might be out of the loop. I don't know those things. Today is National Fanny Gets Fucked Day. Yeah, I think that's what it is. We're about to find out, aren't we? An emergency petition with the Ninth Circuit Appeals Court. Smirnoff's lawyer said Wright did not have the authority to order Smirnoff to be taken back into custody. The defense also criticized what he described as a bias and prejudicial statements from Wright, insinuating that Smirnoff's lawyers were acting improperly by advocating for his release. The appeals court on Sunday evening denied Smirnoff's emergency petition, refusing to block Monday's hearing or assign the case to a different judge. Jeez Louise. What's Will and Grace? Where have I been? I don't know. Is that like a band or something? I've never heard of them. Will and Grace. I'm slow. I can't help it. I'll look it up later or something like that. See what you're talking about. From the appeals court on Sunday evening denied Smirnoff's emergency petition, refusing to block Monday's hearing or assign the case to a different judge. Smirnoff had been an informant for more than a decade when he made the expletive allegations about Biden's in June 2020 after expressing bias about Joe Biden as a presidential candidate. Prosecutors said Smirnoff had only routine business dealings with Burisma starting in 2017, according to court documents. No evidence has emerged that Joe Biden acted corruptly or accepted bribes in his current role or previous office as vice president. Oh, it was a TV show, very gay. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. It's a comedy. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, if a TV show has to be gay, then I probably haven't seen it. But the last gay thing that really interested me and was always funny was Living Color. The TV show. I'm sorry, I'm old. Showing my age with the Z. Yeah. You're not wrong not to know it. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm like anytime that something comes on and it has to be labeled like gay or straight or, and it doesn't move along the storyline, like if the story is just about being gay, then okay, I just don't care. If it has to be some sort of sex scene or something like that, unless it's like one of those 80s movies where boobs were just necessary and someone was going to get their head removed in the most gruesome way, it was always something like that. You'd have boobies just flopping everywhere. The whole sex scene stuff, unless it's moving the story along, is sort of like boring to me. I mean, I don't find it like the whole what was it, the Nicole Kidman and what's his name, Tom Cruise, where they were sleeping around or whatever it was that they were doing. Hold on. Yeah, the eyes wide shut thing. That was okay. That's what the movie was supposed to be about, and the like sex scenes and that would sort of push the story forward. But it was like, okay, I'm not really interested. This like is a weird movie. I just don't enjoy it. Will and Grace had its moments. But I mostly couldn't stand it. Oh, okay. It's funny, and it's not that I watch a lot of gay stuff, but it's generally funny. No, I'm sure it is. Like I said, I have a hard time just watching certain things. It's weird with me. I mean, you start getting into the whole gay thing, and I'm like, I really don't care. I mean, if that's what it becomes about, then I especially don't care. Like, wife wanted to watch something that was, what the hell was it? I can't remember what it was. And, the storyline's going along fine. And then all of a sudden it just turns into this whole gay thing. And I'm like, okay, I really don't care. Like this, it's like, this is just gratuitous. Got to have your gay guys in there. I don't care. I was like, does it move the story along? Would there be any purpose for having this one thing in there to move the story along? And no, there's no reason whatsoever. Absolutely no reason whatsoever to have it. They could have gone about it over a million different ways, but it became about having this this gay love affair or something. I just don't care. Like give me a good show. Don't care whether dude's gay or not. If it moves the story along or the woman's gay, doesn't matter. If it moves the story along and it's part of the story, then okay. I think one example would never mind. I can't even think of a good example because they just can't get it right. It all becomes about pushing some sort of like thing, which I don't care. Like be gay, be happy. Leslie Jordan from Will and Grace, when you did that impression just now, that's all. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who Leslie Jordan is either. But if it's fun, that's awesome. I mean, like what was it? The not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest had Robin Williams and was about like drag queens or something like that. With the son that wasn't gay and was meeting up with some girl and wanted to introduce them to the family, the birdhouse or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. That was actually pretty well done. It was pretty funny, well, I know, I know it was a compliment. I'm just giving you a hard time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much for the compliment. I'll shut up now about it. While his identity wasn't public known for the indictment, Smirnoff's claims had played a major part in the Republican effort in Congress to investigate the president and his family and help spark what is now a House impeachment inquiry into Biden. Republicans pursuing investigations of the Bidens demand the FBI release the unredacted form documenting the unverified allegations, although they acknowledge they couldn't confirm if they were true. Sounds interesting. I wonder how far they're going to go with this impeachment on him. Birdcage, is that what it was? The Cage of Follies, I guess. I don't remember what the name of it was. It had Robin Williams and I don't know who all the actors were. I just remember that Robin Williams was in it. I mean, it was fucking hilarious. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be important here coming up during this election cycle. Listening. Oh, good morning, young. Forever young. Let's see. So we got Supreme Court cast doubt on GOP-led states' efforts to regulate social media platforms. Supreme Court cast doubt on GOP-led states' efforts. GOP-led states to regulate social media. So what is this about? Supreme Court cast doubt Monday on state laws that could affect how Facebook, TikTok, X, YouTube, and other social media platforms regulate content posted by their users. Okay. The cases are among several this term in which the justices could set standards for free speech in the digital age. In nearly 4 hours of argument, several justices questioned aspects of the law adopted by Republican-dominated legislatures and signed by Republican governors in Florida and Texas in 2021. But they seemed wary of a broad ruling, with Justice Amy Coney Barrett warning of landmines she and her colleagues need to avoid in resolving two cases. While the details vary, both laws aimed to address conservative complaints that the social media companies were liberal-leaning and censored users based on their viewpoints, especially on the political right. Differences in the court emerged over how to think about the platforms as akin to newspapers that have broad free speech protections or telephone companies known as common carriers that are susceptible to broader regulation. Chief Justice John Roberts suggested he was in the former camp, saying early in the session, and I wonder, since we're talking about the First Amendment, whether our first concern should be with the state regulating what we have called the modern public square. Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas appeared most ready to embrace arguments made by the lawyers for the states. Thomas raised the idea that companies are seeking constitutional protection for censoring other speech, which is very true. Alito complained about the term content moderation that sites employ to keep material off their platforms is anything more than a euphemism for censorship. He asked, later musings that term struck him as Orwellian. Yeah. But Justice Brett Kavanaugh, seemingly more favorable to the companies, took issue with calling the actions of private companies censorship. A term he said should be reserved for restrictions imposed by the government. Well, if that's the case, then there's no need for me to self-censor, right? Like self-censorship shouldn't happen because that should be imposed by the government, not by myself. Good morning. John Roberts has no backbone. Morning, Jamie. Good to see you, girl. Glad you could make it. John Roberts has no backbone. I agree. When I think of Orwellian, I think of the state, not the private sectors, not private individuals, Kavanaugh said. But see, if private sector is reducing what other people are having, then don't use that service, I guess would be my point. Like if YouTube says that they're going to remove me for the stuff that I talk about or the things that I do, well, then I can always take my business elsewhere. It may not be as lucrative and it may hinder my ability to do certain things, but I have that right and that ability to move it elsewhere. So I mean, that's just how these things work. Take with it as you will. The precise contours of ruling of the two cases are not clear after arguments, although it seemed likely the court would not let the laws take effect. The justices posed questions about how the laws might affect businesses that are not their primary targets, including e-commerce sites like Uber and Etsy and emailing and messaging services. Yeah, they might affect businesses that are not their primary targets. Absolutely. The cases are among several the justices have grappled with over the past year involving social media platforms. Next month, the court will hear an appeal from Louisiana, Missouri, and other parties accusing administration officials of pressuring social media companies to silence conservative points of view. Two more cases awaiting decision concern whether public officials can block critics from commenting on their social media accounts, an issue that previously came up in a case involving then President Donald Trump. The court dismissed the Trump case when his presidential term ended in January 2021. Isn't that weird how that happened? They just said, well, this isn't worth fighting anymore. The Florida and Texas laws were passed in the months following decisions by Facebook and Twitter, now X, to cut Trump off over his posts related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol riots. Trade association, they're reading this wrong. This would have been January 6, 2021. Yeah, we're not even going to say it because that's called self-censorship. But I shouldn't have to self-censor. Trade associations representing the company sued in federal court, claiming that the laws violated the platform's speech rights. One federal appeal struck down Florida's statute while another upheld the Texas law. Both are on hold pending the outcome at the Supreme Court. In a statement when he signed the bill into law, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the measure would be protection against the Silicon Valley elites. When Governor Greg Abbott signed the Texas law, he said it was needed to protect free speech and that he termed the new public square. Social media platforms are a place for healthy public debate where information should be able to flow freely. But there is a dangerous movement by social media companies to silence conservative viewpoints and ideas. That is wrong, and we will not allow it in Texas, Abbott said. But much has changed since then. Elon has purchased Twitter and, in addition to changing its name, eliminated teams focused on content moderation, welcomed back many users previously banned for hate speech, and used the site to spread conspiracy theories. There's only one person I can think of like that. Riots, I thought it was an insurrection. Well, of course. It always sounds like it's an insurrection until, well, they realize that the term insurrection means something completely different than what happened. Because if they name that an insurrection, then it was a violent uprising against the powers that be, um, including but not limited to death, murder, mayhem, burning down businesses, and creating havoc across the United States for an entire 6 months leading up to that. But that wouldn't be possible. That couldn't be considered an insurrection. It was more of an insurrection whenever you had people doing that shit on federal buildings. The Biden administration is siding with the challengers. Lawyers for Trump have filed a brief in the Florida case urging the court to uphold the state law. Okay. Was it Trump or was it the lawyers for Trump that filed the brief in the Florida case? Because it appears to me Trump has a lot of damn lawyers for different states. Oh, it was mostly peaceful. Yeah, mostly peaceful, but fiery. The Biden administration is siding with the challengers. Well, go figure that. Still Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar. I would hate to have that name, Prelogar. Damn. The administration's top Supreme Court lawyer cautioned the court to seek a narrow ruling that blocked the laws. Well, yeah, it sucks whenever the shoe's on the other foot. Prelogar said governments maintain the ability and impose regulations to ensure competition, preserve data privacy, and protect consumer interests. Several academics and privacy advocacy groups, that is really hard to say, privacy advocacy. How about saying advocates for privacy? Told the court that they view the laws at issue in these cases as unconstitutional, but want the justices to preserve the government's ability to regulate social media companies to some extent. No, either you get it or you don't. I mean, how about that? Jamie, stop getting up early. I don't know. We like it when Jamie gets up. Get up, get on up, get down, get on down. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. This is cool. So I had something pulled up. It was, and it's not showing. That's so weird. That my whole browser froze up. There it goes. Now it's working again. Damn it. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like I literally lost everything. Crazy. And I see why, because it's got some sort of video on here. I'm not even gonna even play that. I can just delete that out of there. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. I'm gonna close some of these tabs that I have opened up. Jeez Louise. Get up, shake your funky stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I like this time slot also. It's fun to wake up and spend time with you guys. It really is. Present share screen. Let's pull this one up. And so this is what to watch for the Michigan primary 2024. What to watch as the campaign shifts to the first big swing state. Michigan's presidential primary on Tuesday will offer a serious test of President Joe Biden's ability to navigate dissent within the Democrat Party over his response to Israel's war with Hamas. The leading Republican in the White House race, formerly President Donald Trump, is looking for another primary win that would add to his sweep of the early voting stages and move him that much closer to becoming his party's nominee. Sorry, I can't keep that up. That voice is horrible. The Michigan contest is the final major race before the election calendar broadens dramatically on Super Tuesday, March 5th. Oh, so when is this one supposed to happen? Well, that's just Michigan's president. Oh, it's Tuesday. That's today. Wonderful. So that's when more than a dozen states will hold elections with thousands of delegates at stake. The result this Tuesday will be closely watched for any clues about where Michigan is trending before the November election. Didn't they say this about the South Carolina uh, thing? That was fun. Shizzy, you got to do a voice. At least do Sling Blade. Okay. Okay. I'll give me a second. Let me get to this part. I'll get to the things to watch. So, with a narrow win in 2016, Trump became the first Republican presidential candidate to carry a state since 1988, securing his path to the White House. Biden reclaimed the state for Democrats in 2020, contributing to his defeat of Trump. Some things to watch going into the Michigan primary. Warren Biden stand. Biden has faced minimal opposition from Democrats, and his grip on the nomination is not in doubt. Primary voters in Michigan can pick uncommitted, which gives some of his party opting casting was essentially a protest vote. All right, you gotta swing it. That can prove especially in tandem with the statement high number and concentration of American Arabs, and Biden's facing intense pressure for a permanent ceasefire in the Israeli-Hamas war. To the point where a core group of elected officials have joined the campaign to promote backing uncommitted instead of the president on Tuesday. Potential of an uncommitted willing win is unlikely, but if that option receives notable digital support, it could serve as a early warning sign for Biden heading into the general election, signaling that core Democrat constituents won't simply fall in line with the president. That's critical for Biden because of these voters stay home in November. The state could just slip away, just go on slipping, raising pressure on him to flip over other Republicans leaning states such as North Carolina or Florida or Ohio. For evidence of the listening to Michigan campaign effectiveness, pay particularly close attention to Dearborn, a suburb of more than 109,000 southwest of Detroit, with a Muslim and Arab American population of more than 50%. Biden's team set to administer officials to meet with Arab American and Muslim leaders of Michigan this month. Biden's campaign manager, Julia Chavez Rodriguez, man, try to say that real fast 20 times. And other political aides visited last month, but I found a number of community leaders unwilling to meet. Biden was Michigan on February 1st to court and voters, while Vice President Campbell was in the state Thursday to discuss abortion, okay, and advocate for reproductive rights, okay. Like if you can't get them whenever they're born, then might as well get them whenever they're like older and sling blade them. On Saturday, Biden joined a campaign organizing call with Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Michigan Democrat Party Chair Lavora Barnes. Sounds like she might have a problem. Okay. I can't do that voice any longer. That's a rough voice to do. Republican Nikki Haley has spent the past several weeks focusing on campaigning in her home state of South Carolina, where Trump beat her soundly in the first Southern primary of 2024. While Haley has spent little time in Michigan, she planned to campaign Sunday in suburban-heavy Oakland County in western Michigan's GOP hub, Grand Rapids, on Monday. The two spots, populous and with a wide range of Republican and independent voters, fit with Haley's effort to reach beyond the conservative core, where in Michigan, as elsewhere, is vastly loyal to Trump. Well, that's amazing. Aaron messaged me the Discord link, or I'm deleting it. Okay. I don't have. I see I have Discord something, but I don't know how that works. Hey, Eris. Good to see you. Good morning, Rabbit. Awesome. I love it. Give them some mustard. Give them some mustard and kite. Give me some fried potato crisp. Okay, those are delicious. Well, Haley has spent time in Michigan. Yeah, I'm sure she has. Trump has campaigned in Michigan recently, including at a private air hangar in Oakland County last week, which drew in more than 2,000. That's not a bad amount of people to draw into a little airport hangar. But there's been little appetite for anti-Trump Republicans in Michigan. Well, Peter Measure, whatever, was elected to U.S. House from Grand Rapids in 2020, was quickly defeated for re-election 2 years later after he voted to convict Trump during a second impeachment after the violent January 6, 2021 Capitol siege by pro-Trump agitators. Just like, really? They really have to throw that shit in there, don't they? Like, lest we forget January 6th, let's just throw that in there. Good Lord. Do you see the statistic for South Carolina that 70% they think Biden went in? No, I didn't see that. But I don't care. That's the beauty of it. Right? Who cares what, you know, let's put it this way: it doesn't matter what they say. It's the person that's sitting on the throne that has the power, and that would be Joe Biden. He's sitting on the throne right now. Whenever he gets dethroned from his little high horse, which doesn't take much because he'll probably trip and fall, you'll see that it was the kind of bullshit that actually happened and continues to happen. Like if you think anything's going to change whenever the election, after the election happens. So let's put it to you this way. So say Trump is elected for a second term. He wins the election by landslide. I mean, there's no debating it. He got like 90% of the votes were for him. All right. No matter how hard they try to do some weird, funky stuff with ballots or anything like that, it becomes very clear that, yeah, dude fucking beat and won. Do you think that they'll stop attacking him? I mean, do you honestly think that they will stop going after him for whatever they possibly can? Election intimidation or whatever other things, Russian interference or any number of things that he said, try to break him legally and all this other kind of crap. Like through the court system, take away all the money that they possibly can. Do you think they'll stop? No. Me personally, I don't think they'll stop. I think they will continue on and on and on and on and on for another 4 years, and we have to deal with that. On the other hand, if he bows out and doesn't win and turns around, I mean, it becomes clear that Joe Biden was the leader of this great and wonderful country called the United States, and Joe Biden wins in an absolute landslide where we're talking, you can't even contest it in the States, that this was just an amazing blowout. Like Joe Biden got, 99% of the votes of the American people, and Trump walked away, and said nothing more. Do you think they would continue to go after him financially? Do you think they would continue to attack him? And he shut up and just went about his way. Do you think they would continue to attack him? No, I think they would probably drop all the court cases, all the other bullshit. But that's not going to happen either which way. So it's, if Trump loses, what he's going to do is he's going to be bitching about, rigged election, blah, 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 all that kind of crap. And whenever he does, of course, then they're going to continue to attack him and, basically do whatever they can to shut him up. I mean, we've already seen it happen. What's to say it doesn't happen again? You couldn't be more wrong. Possibly. Or they will keep going even after he's out of a second term. Yeah. I doubt it though. I mean, they already dropped charges against him after he lost in 2021. Yeah. over things that he said. I mean, I just read it. They've been in attack mode since the man announced he was running. I know, but like I said, there's also certain things that they stop chasing after because it becomes irrelevant to them. Like right now, all the attacks against him are just to keep him out of office. That's all that it is right now. Yep, they would still go after him after he dropped out, just to make sure he didn't try to make it come back again. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he could still go for run a third, fourth, fifth time until he gets elected again, or until his body gives out. Whichever comes first, more than likely his body would give out before then. My DMs are wide open now, just for you. Oh, isn't that nice? Trump remains the heavy favorite among party rank and file, while incoming state GOP chairman Pete Hoekstra is a Trump loyalist with ties to wealthy donors. Republican power struggle in Michigan. While Biden faces questions about the intensity of his support among Democrats, there's plenty of GOP turmoil in Michigan. Though the party's most active members heavily support Trump to be the 2024 nominee, a power struggle inside the state's party organization could complicate his team's effort to organize the state to turn out the vote in November. The state's party organization is facing more than $600,000 in debt under ousted chair Christina Caramo. Okay, though Caramo refuses to step aside despite the ouster and Trump's endorsement of Hoekstra, a former congressman who was Trump's ambassador to the Netherlands. Hoekstra. I didn't know that. Hoekstra has pledged to restore relationships with longtime donors. Caramo refused to meet with some of them or turn them off by criticizing them as insufficiently conservative or out of step with Trump. I don't know. Still, Hoekstra has said it will be difficult to rebuild fewer than 9 months a state party that that's just very confusing. In recent presidential cycles, has operated with a budget of $20 million to $30 million. Trump beat Hillary in Michigan in 2016 by fewer than 11,000 votes. Biden carried the state in 2020 by fewer than 155,000 votes. That 2.6% point margin was the sixth narrowest of all 50 states. That's why people were wondering why it was little funky. Because of this, all of a sudden, all these voters came out of the woodworks. Wipes his paws, lips in, and owls. Oh, nice. What are you doing with owls? I understand you were howling. Y'all listen to Eris. Her political views have been on ever since she witnessed the fall of Rome. God, Zach. That is not nice at all. You better be careful. Eris will put the slam on you. You go picking on her. I don't doubt it one damn bit. She would do some damage to you, son. Oh my gosh. What I'm going to do is grab a cup of coffee really quick. So I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of music for a bit, and then I'll be right back. So give me just a little bit. What I'll give you is how about some lo-fi music, and give me just like less than 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, coffee. Grab yourself some coffee, because here's comes some music. All right, I'm back. Thank you very much for hanging out just a little bit. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, let's see. I ain't scared. Got the fang marks already. Done, Brandon. F hates me. Yeah. Judge Maddie, the show is not over by any aspect. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? Eris. Let me go back to pairing up ellipses. Huh. See, Zach, Judge Maddie. That's what's up, Judge Maddie. See, hey, Wolfie Love. Ah, see, you guys are awesome. Such a great group of people we have here. That's why I like you guys so much. Senate leaders likely to seek quick dismissal of Maracus's impeachment case, of course. For the third time in 5 years, Senator will be sworn in as jurors for an impeachment trial, but the chamber is expected to spend far less time on the charge against Maracus than the ones brought against former President Donald Trump, or maybe no time at all. Go figure. The Republican-controlled House impeached him over a single vote. By a single vote on February 13th, recommended that Maracus be removed from office over his handling the U.S.-Mexican border with 2 articles of impeachment. House charged that Maracus has willfully and systematically refused to enforce existing immigration laws and breached the public trust by lying to Congress and saying the border was secure. Well, there you go. Democrats say the charges amount to apology dispute, not the high crimes and misdemeanors laid out as a bar for impeachment in the Constitution. They successfully got it after a second trial. It was rejected earlier, and the first time in 150 years a cabinet secretary had been impeached. Oh, that's the first time in nearly 150 years. 2/3 of the Senate would be needed to convict Maracus, and not a single Democrat has signaled support for the impeachment push. Still, there's a process that senators have to follow under the rules for impeachment. All Democrats would likely have to stick together to dismiss the charges completely. Look at the next steps and Senate's options. Maracus's impeachment moves across the Capitol, convening the impeachment trial under impeachment rules, and blah, blah. House Speaker Mike Johnson had not said when it will happen, but which could be as soon as this week when Senate returns. Senators will later be sworn in as jurors, likely the next day. After that, the rules would generally allow the Senate to decide how to proceed, voting to dismiss the charges, and blah, blah, blah. So, there you go. They're basically just going to keep referring this stuff around until either people just, well, it's funny that echoing Trump's defense during his impeachment, Schumer has called the House effort a sham. I think she wants a private show. Yes, she should. She should backhand you quite regularly for being so shamefully abhorrent. I'm kidding. Judge Maddie is not shamefully abhorrent at all. Well, that I know of. He could be. But of course, then, you talk about Maracus, then you end up with this right here. Biden and Trump both plan trips to the Mexican border on Thursday, dueling for advantage on immigration. They're dueling wieners. That's what they're going to do. It becomes a pissing contest on the electric fence. See who can stand it longer. Both Joe Biden and Donald Trump will make dueling trips to the Mexico border on Thursday. Who do you think will get closer to the Mexican border? I wonder. I mean, honestly, who do you think will get closer to the Mexican border? Who will get closer to where the illegals are coming across? Or will they just both show up like in El Paso and, be like, yeah, we can see the border from, the Plaza Hotel. There you go. Actually, I doubt either one of them would stay at Plaza Hotel. It's a pretty shitty hotel. Last time I was there in 1980, 1990? I think it was 1990 last time I was in El Paso, and I went by there, and it was rough. That place was rough. You know what I forgot to do? As I've done this before, damn it. I would probably have people over on the Rumble side, and I have not been ignoring you willfully. I'm an idiot and forgot to include you. Biden is going to El Paso. Trump is going to check out the big, beautiful walls. Big, beautiful walls. Big walls. Yeah, that sounds about right. Unaccompanied minors, Joel will get closer. Mm-hmm. No, I doubt it. And like Lesko says, Brandon says here, Biden is going to El Paso. Trump is going to go check out the walls. That I would imagine would be the case. And being in El Paso does not mean that you're anywhere near the border. Seriously, I mean, it's right there. You got Juarez. It's right across the border, but that doesn't mean anything. All right, Biden will travel to Brownsville, Texas. Oh, there you go. He's going to Brownsville, Texas, an area that often sees large numbers of border crossings. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Luc Preserves said Monday he will meet border agents and discuss the need for bipartisan legislation. It would be his second visit to the border as president. Oh, yeah. So he traveled to El Paso in January last year. That's what it was. I knew it was something about El Paso. It's not really a trip to the border. Just saying, just going to El Paso doesn't mean you're at the border. And being in Brownsville doesn't mean that you're anywhere close to being next to the border. Just being in the city, I doubt he goes and actually visits the border. Whereas Trump made multiple trips to the border, actually, meeting with the workers that were putting up the border walls. Brownsville, Texas. It's in the Rio Grande Valley. He wants to make sure he puts his message out there to the American people. Jean-Luc Preserves said. Trump, for his part, will head to Eagle Pass, Texas. Wow, where they just had a hot spot. It's about 325 miles away from Brownsville. And the state-federal clash over border security, according to three people who spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity to discuss the plans. Well, isn't that wonderful? So, yeah, he's going to be in Eagle Pass. How did I figure that he was going to be somewhere where, people are crossing right now? I'm just trying to think. So, Brownsville, Texas. Let me see. Brownsville, Texas. And I'm going to pull this up. And we'll do a quick Google search here for Brownsville, Texas, and pull up a map. We'll see. So let's go to Brownsville, Texas, and it's right across the border from Matamoros. So, yeah, he's pretty close on the border, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people are crossing right there. Just saying. I'm seeing a children's museum in Brownsville. Awesome. That's very cool. You should go give Mr. President Biden a handshake and say, "Good to see you, Mr. President Biden. I hope you have a wonderful and safe trip, and make sure that you kiss the kids for me." Just the tip. It's basically right next to the Resort Central. Good Lord. Sorry. So South Padre Island International is what we got there. We got a resort to Palma, Cameron Park, San Pedro. Yeah, I just don't see where he's gonna be. I mean, there's a Walmart there. Maybe he'll go speak at the Walmart parking lot. I mean, that would be pretty funny. But yeah, there's a museum, a Rego Tower or something like that. I'm not seeing a whole lot. I mean, there's like a little airport there. I guess it makes it quicker to fly people in and out. But there's looks like some really damn good restaurants there too. Damn, that looks like really good food. And it's in Mexico. I'll have to show you. It's got 1 star, but damn, the food looks freaking awesome. Yeah, I'm digging this. Let me share this tab instead. See, look at this place. This looks good. Oh my god. This is like a meal. This is like good Mexican fare food right there. Oh god bless. So you notice there's no rice there. Mexican food doesn't have rice. Oh God, look at that. That's some good stuff right there. This is authentic. I love it. Love it. Love the food. Brownsville is Iris's stomping grounds. That's awesome. But yeah, here's the place, El Parisio. It's I mean, God Lord Almighty. Look at that. That just looks good. I mean, the place only has 1 star, but that looks like some really good damn food. I love it. I love this. This is damn awesome. Man, oh man. Like that's some good stuff. They got a little menu here. Oh, huevos rancheros. Oh yes. Mm. Good Lord. Now I'm getting hungry. Let's see what else they got. Oh, geez, Louise. Little pico de gallo. Oh, yeah. Now see, I mean, this is whenever you know that you're eating. Yeah, see, that's got a little bit of rice in there. That's all Americanized. You just general, yeah. That's all breakfast material right there. Mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, this is like some good fare right here. Like bean soup. Oh, yum. Google was research for Brownsville ice cream. Pick, yeah, pick. Well, no, this is right across the border. This is in Mexico, like right across the border. Like you want to get some food right there. Oh man, like that is just. Oh, I can't remember what these are called, but that's like cinnamon and sugar and crunchy, good stuff right there. I forget what those things are called. They have a particular name for it. Yeah, those right there are handmade tortillas. Like those are made right. Not these store bought things that you get from Mexican restaurants here in Georgia, which that's oh damn. It's like that's just some good food right there. Look, we have white people. Oh man, oh man. Like I would recommend this place. Like Isadro El Parazio, nah, whatever. That's just good fare right there. Yeah, see, I don't really get the whole rice thing. It's not really a Mexican thing. That's more Southwest kind of thing, like a Tex-Mex kind of thing. Because generally, you just don't do rice with anything. It's not one of those main staples that you find like that. You find more like in Cuba. Oh, look at this! Look at that Cuda. That's pretty. That's a pretty car. Man, see now I've just gone down the rabbit hole of looking at food that looks like really good. Damn. I like this place. See now I want to go to Brownsville just so I could go get some good fare like this. Man, that is just a ah. Don't be talking about that foreign crap this early in the morning unless you're calling it. Uh, Hola means hi in Spanish. Yes, it does. Food talks. Food talks is better than politics talk. Yeah, isn't it though? Like, I mean, much better, much better. Oh my gosh, I'm looking for something. Well, I already talked about that last night. So I mean, I was talking about like this yesterday, which is the Florida Man Games. Big crowds cheer competitors over evading police and wrestling over beer. Gotta love that. So in St. Augustine, Florida, see, I talked about this last night. If you folks were there last night, you know I was talking about this. They promote the most insane athletic showdown on earth. The Florida Man Games poke fun at the state's reputation for bizarre stories. Like it kicked off Saturday with the Star Spangled Banner played on electric guitar. Then spectators sipped canned beers behind metal barricades, cheered and frequently shouted cuss words at dozens of teams battled in contests inspired by real events from America's most surreal state. Yeah, that was crazy. Just seeing that they so the first Florida Man Games were featured beer wrestling and evading arrest obstacle course. Well, let's see what that's all about. Beer wrestling, beer belly wrestling, and evading arrest obstacle course. Huh. So, but a group of Floridians, Florida Man organizers, we already know that, most insane. Among the contest planned for February in August, St. Augustine, Florida, according to organizer, evading arrest obstacle course in which contestants jump over fences and through yards while being chased by real police officers. The Category 5 cash grab, in which participants try to grab as much money and a wind-blowing booth, and the self-explanatory beer belly wrestling. It isn't just a competition, it's a one-of-a-kind Florida spectacle, organizer said on the game's website. We already know about that. Yeah, the tickets, we already know about that. And how can we really play on these Florida Man headlines so we can hear so much about it? Someone gave me the idea to make it into an athletic competition. And it's going to be a wild day of mud games and Florida style obstacle course. It's going to really be an opportunity to live that Florida man life for a day. Oh my gosh. Frozen rentals. Oh, geez. Hear this? Yellen urging world leaders to unlock frozen Russian central bank assets and send them to Ukraine. Why the hell would Yellen be urging this shit? That's so bad. That is so bad. I mean, good Lord. Why? Why Yellen? Treasury Secretary Yellen is offering her strongest public opinion for the idea of liquidating roughly $300 billion in frozen Russian central bank assets and using them for Ukraine's long-term reconstruction. That's a bad idea. How about this? Win, lose, or draw, let Russia do its thing. It is necessary and urgent for our coalition to find a way to unlock the value of these immobilized assets to support Ukraine's continued resistance and long-term reconstruction, Yellen says in remarks prepared for delivery Tuesday in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Oh, why would she be in Sao Paulo, Brazil? Could it be that there was this little group that was getting together that involved Russia, China, Brazil? What was the name of that group? Gosh, I cannot remember. Wow. Yellen says in remarks prepared for this particular one or meeting this week, I believe there's a strong international law. No. Economic and no. And moral case, well, that's to be debated for moving forward. This be a decisive response to Russia's unprecedented threat to global stability. Okay. Sorry, sweetheart. Maybe you guys started this shit and now you want to just go after Russia for these things. United States and its allies froze hundreds of billions of dollars in Russians' foreign holdings in retaliation for Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. No, it'd be Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Those billions have been sitting untapped and the war grinds on, now in its third year, while officials with multiple countries have debated the legality of sending the money to Ukraine. More than two-thirds of Russia's immobilized central bank funds are located in the EU. Yeah, that would be a really bad idea. You can sit there and, go after them one way, but you go after them alone another way, it's going to cause them serious problems. Why is the Treasury Secretary making war pronouncements? Yes, there you go. Because war is big money for these folks. Using the assets to help Ukraine, no, would make clear that Russia cannot win by prolonging the war and would incentivize it to come to the table to negotiate, to talk peace with Ukraine. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Putin says he's willing to talk. What are you doing, little dog? Hey, come here. Come here. Hey, Whiskey. Get over here. Crazy dog. He's acting crazy. Yes, his name is Whiskey, or it's I have no idea. He's acting weird. The idea of using Russians' frozen assets has gained traction lately as continued allied funding for Ukraine becomes more uncertain, and the U.S. Congress is in a stalemate over providing more support. So how is it any of her business? Whiskey, what are you doing, crazy? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So you got puppers here. Yes, you are crazy. He wants to sniff my face. I don't know why. Puppers. See, get them all excited. And then he'll start hacking. All right, go on. Crazy dog. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just now saw this from MNHS06. That's pretty damn awesome. Thank you very much. I will get you something here. How's this? Give you a little bit of what do we got? What do we got? I will find something here for you. How about this?
I love this shit.
And oh man, see, now you got me having to work over here because I never open up some of this stuff at all, just because I'm such a slacker whenever it comes to doing the YouTube thing. I swear. And I don't know what I'll do is I'll let you guys know who actually got those gifts, because that's pretty damn awesome. And viewing control room, here we go. We've got Mass got a gifted membership, and Farrell, she got a membership. Forever Young got a membership. Toodly Pip got a membership. So did Flatty and Jamie and Kaiser Pineapple and Fondian. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I like your picture of the goat too. That's really awesome. That is pretty damn awesome. Good to see you. It's very cool. Very cool. I'm speechless. Thank you. Really. So the idea of using Russian assets has gained traction lately as continued allied funding. Earlier this month, the EU passed a law to set aside windfall profits generated from frozen Russian central bank assets. Yellen calls that an action I fully endorse. Brazil kicked off its presidency of the group of 20 nations this month. The group of 20 nations this month, with finance ministers meeting this week. Topics for discussion included poverty alleviation, climate change, and the wars in the Gaza Strip and in Ukraine. G20 leaders are slated to gather at the summit in Rio. That's all nuts. Y'all's nuts are showing. Yep. It happens. It happens. Yeah. So G20 leaders are slated to gather in November 18th through 19th at a summit in Rio. That just sounds like it could turn into like a mess. Just saying, it just sounds like it could turn into a complete mess. Let me see if here we go. I want to check something really quick. Because if it's just the same shit that I've read before, then there's no reason for me to mention it again. Partisan case. What could the court do? Let's see. I'm reading this election thing where they're going after the Supreme Court in Colorado's ruling. They're just basically saying the ruling for Colorado require wins for the plaintiff in a whole array of Trump defenses, but they could effectively punt it and not make a final decision. So if he wins the election and Congress has to decide whether to certify his victory, blah, blah, blah. So they're just talking about 2025. Excellent. They should be forced to make those conferences in a rainy, damp, cold place. Then we have fewer of them than Rio in the wintertime. Yeah, I would say, there's places like the moon that they could just fly all the politicians to, so they could have like their own little conference there. And of course, guten Tag mas. Biden is summoning congressional leaders to see this crap again. So, of course, Biden is summoning congressional leaders to the White House to talk Ukraine and government funding. President Joe Biden will convene the top 4 congressional leaders at the White House on Tuesday to press lawmakers on passing an emergency aid package for Ukraine and the Israels. Like he doesn't care about the southern border anymore. What happened? As well as averting a looming government shutdown next month. Well, they're always going to have a government shutdown. I think they should have more of them. The top 4 leaders, including Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, let's say we don't care. During the meeting, the president will discuss the urgency of passing the aid package, which has bipartisan support. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have any support at all. And that's really it. This is one of those instances where one person could bend the course of history. Speaker Johnson, if he put this bill on the floor, would produce a strong bipartisan majority vote in favor to the Ukrainians. Sullivan stressed that the Ukrainians needed weapons and ammunition to fend off Russian forces. In his personal conversations, well, then that would be up to them, the Ukrainians. How about you go secure yourself some money, go instead of the EU paying for funding to you, because that's basically fighting a war by proxy. Oh, because that money comes back to the U.S. whenever the U.S., because they'll buy stuff from the U.S. Of course, they'll buy artillery and shells from the U.S. Sure enough. And that's what Biden's whole proposal is right there. Like, if you're going to do the Ukraine thing, then, let's go ahead and send money to Ukraine, because that money will come right back to the U.S. And, instead of buying, the artillery and the shells from, the European countries, they'll buy them from the U.S. instead. We send them more money than them. What makes you think that they will? I mean, to me, it make more sense not to buy artillery and shells from the U.S. and just buy them all locally. I mean, personally, you could buy them from Italy or any other country just as easily. I mean, how and why would you go anywhere else? Of course, they want to have legislation. It's not time for petty politics, of course. House Republicans will continue to work in good faith and hope to reach an outcome as soon as we feel like it. But other than that, we got Sung Min Kim. Wonderful. She is a White House reporter. Wonderful. I think I've seen her in the press pool every so often. I think she's been there a couple of times. She's asked some pretty interesting stuff. But we'll get into this right here. Hungary's parliament ratifies Sweden's NATO bid, clearing the final obstacle to membership. Huh. So what's going on here? Budapest, Hungary. Hungary's parliament voted on Monday to ratify Sweden's bid to join NATO, ending more than 18 months of delay that frustrated the alliance as it sought to expand in response to Russia's war Ukraine. The vote, which passed 188 votes for and against it, was the culmination of months of wrangling by Hungary's allies to convince the nationalist government to lift its block on Sweden's membership. Well, there you go. Hungary's decision paved the way for the second expansion of NATO's ranks in a year, after both Sweden and Finland applied to join the alliance in 2022 following the Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, an assault that was purportedly intended to prevent further NATO expansion. Oh, boy. Good morning. But I want you happy and smiling. I enjoy you that way. How about you, Harris? Those migraines still bothering you? Well, I hope those migraines go away, doll. Hungary was the last of the alliance's 31 members to give its backing since Turkey ratified last month. So Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, I'm not going to even try, said his country was now leaving. Because if you say it like the Swedish chef, it ends up being Ulf Kristersson, and his country was now leaving 200 years of neutrality and non-alignment behind us. It is a big step we must take seriously, but it's also a very natural step that we are taking. NATO membership means that we've found a new home within a large number of democracies which work together for peace and freedom, he told the U.S. News Conference in Stockholm. Urban, a right-wing populist who has forged close ties with Russia, has said that the criticism of Hungary's democracy by Swedish politicians, soured relations between the two countries led to reluctance among lawmakers in his Fidesz party. Fidesz, I don't know. By addressing lawmakers before the vote, Orbán said Sweden and Hungary's military cooperation in Sweden's NATO accession to strengthen Hungary's security. NATO Secretary General told the Associated Press that the vote makes NATO stronger, Sweden safer, and all of us more secure. Be right back. We'll see you in a little bit. We'll be right. They're moving your father from the hospital to hospice. Don't think you can help with that. I'm sorry to hear that, Mass. I really do. That's my deepest sympathies for this, because that's rough. That really is rough, and just deepest sympathy, brother. Stoltenberg in Sweden brings its capable armed forces and first-class defense industry and is spending at least 2% of its national gross domestic product on defense. Well, that's NATO's target level. The vote also demonstrates that NATO's door is open at Russian President Vladimir Putin did not succeed in his attempt to close NATO's door. No, that was, oh, Jesus Christ. So misreported and misconstrued what they say. On Monday, Orbán criticized Hungary's European Union and NATO allies for pressuring his government in recent months to move forward on Sweden's request to be part of the alliance. Hungary is a sovereign country. It does not tolerate being dictated by others, whether it be the content of its decisions or their timing. Isn't that what Russia said? Last week, a bipartisan group of U.S. senators visited Hungary and announced it would submit a joint resolution to Congress condemning Hungary's alleged democratic backsliding and urging Orbán's government to allow Sweden into NATO. A presidential signature, which is needed to formally endorse approval of Sweden's NATO bid, was expected within a few days, and the U.S. White House press secretary, Jean-Luc Retard, Pierre urged the Hungary government to quickly complete the process of bringing Sweden into alliance. Having Sweden as a NATO ally will make the United States even safer. She said, speaking aboard Air Force One as President Joe Biden flew to New York for an appearance. Having Kirsten, Sweden's prime minister, met last week with Urban in Hungary's capital, where they appeared to reach a decisive reconciliation after months of diplomatic tensions. Following their meeting, the leaders announced the conclusion of a defense industry agreement that would include Hungary's purchase of 4 Swedish-made JAS 39 Gripen jets and the extension of a service contract for its existing Gripen fleet. Urban said the additional fighter jets will significantly increase our military capabilities and further strengthen our role aboard, and will improve Hungary's ability to participate in joining NATO's operations. To be a member of NATO together with another country means that we are ready to die for each other. A deal on defense and military capacities helps to reconstruct the trust between the two countries. Robert, a senior analyst with the Swedish Defense Research Agency, told the AP on Friday that Hungary's decision to finally lift its opposition came only after Turkey and its president voted January to rectify Stockholm's bid. After becoming the NATO last NATO holdout in the Turkish vote, Orban had to show some results for his government's delays. Said, in hiding behind back, Orban could do some pirouettes. Then, when shifted, Orban could really prepare for adjusting his proposition, and he needed something to show that could legitimize his turnaround, and that turned out to be the Gripen deal. Good morning, Christine. Glad you can make it in. A little bit late. My oh my, I'm going to have to be heading out here in about 15 minutes. After accepting Novak's resignation, lawmakers confirmed Thomas Sulak, the president of Hungary's constitutional court, to be all that you can be. Oh my. So here we go with some. Oh yeah, here we go. This is really cool. And we got that muted. So I don't know if you guys have seen this kind of stuff, but here you go. So tell me, who is in the wrong for doing this? Boom. See, if you got it on dash cam, you know what happened. Are you reading some Swedish Chef? Yeah, I was reading some Swedish Chef. I'm being helpful this morning. Check my DMs. Oh, geez. I'm so bad at checking these things. What am I looking at here? Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Copy message. Okay. Yeah, I already have that set up to do that. But there you go. Yeah, getting out, yelling, getting all mad and angry. Like, what in the hell do you think you're doing? But boom. Yeah, that right there is an illegal maneuver. And that he's got it on dash cam is ideal. Yeah, I saw that shit yesterday. Absolutely. That is so true. At least the white car is for blinking and shifting lanes simultaneously. Also, you're allowed to cross that white line. No. I mean, you could cross that white line, but if it's impeding another driver, like that, and then locking up your brakes, like it doesn't matter if you have your signal. Just because you put your turn signal on does not mean that was an illegal maneuver. So locked up the brakes. That right there would be enough to get you in all kinds of problems. And also they could both get a ticket because they're blocking traffic. Like if you get in an accident like this, you're supposed to pull it over to the side, not just stop right in the middle of the road. Like she should pull over to the side there in the corner. That's what she should be doing. But of course she's a moron or he's a moron. I don't know. Don't want to misgender it. But yeah, that right there, that was intentional, like 100 times over. Any judge that sees that is going to say, yeah, that was intentional, and pretty much throw that crap out. like dude's getting his car repaired where she's going to be paying, she'll be ticketed for that. You're not supposed to do that kind of crap. It's not good. Not good at all. Oh my, let's see here. I double check and make sure I have this. Paste. There we go. Nope. That is not it. And where is it? There it is. Save. There we go. Got it. Lady needs prison time. I don't know about prison time, but it'll get you. Also, be aware of what. I know a woman who used to do that for insurance fraud reasons. Yeah. The year you worked with her, she had 3 rear end accidents. Yeah. Also, be aware of what is behind you before changing lanes. Absolutely. Just because you turn your signal on does not mean that you have the right to pull into oncoming traffic like that. And then especially lock up your brakes. That's always a bad idea. That's always a bad idea. But we were talking about some of the shady shit that you see happening in foreign countries. Well, there you go. Imagine this. Look at that. US dollars. And I don't know. I can't verify. Oh, look. More US dollars. Huh. Where do you think this came from? Where what? Holy cow. Like where he's just pulling money out of all these kind of boxes and bags. I mean, toaster ovens. What the hell is going on? Like, how can you end up having all of that? Yeah, screaming lash after that. You like finding a box of chocolates filled with hundreds? Yeah. So the story behind this. Now, I don't know if it's true because I can't verify it, but the story behind this is former head officer of a regional Ukraine military recruitment office was caught with $1 million in shoe boxes. Damn. And so what it says, and I will show what the actual readers added context they thought people might want to know. The video shows the seizure of $1 million in the apartment of the former head of Regional Military Commission, who retired in 2021 and organized a scheme to evade mobilization. For his services, he demanded between $6,000 and $10,000 US dollars per person. So that's what that story actually is involved in, and I can pull it up to translate into English, and here it is. So this guy right here, this is the one, and this is on Ukrainian news. Society learned about this from its own sources in the law enforcement agencies. The Denzin district of Cherniv remanded the suspect in custody without bail. The searches were conducted on February 21st as part of an investigation into one of the criminal proceedings. Currently, it is known that the detainee worked as head of the regional VLK until the summer of 2021. The public asked for comment about the SBU administration in Cherniv region and will publish the details of the case in its next materials. So that's basically all they had. That's all they talked about. Now, this right here is the way that news should be done in the US. Wouldn't it be wonderful if they just reported the news and said that they learned this from its own sources, that this happened? And the searches were conducted at this point in time, and Curley has known the detainee worked as what he did. The public asked for comment, and this is all they got. Like, this is news. Russia needs to reclaim Ukraine. I'd rather deal with one corrupt government than two separate governments. Yeah. Yeah. See what a scam they have going on there. Yes. Why not? I mean, if you can, you can do it. Yeah. See, like I said, this is the news. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And that's it. Like that's all the news involves. It's not giving you any politics or any crap like that. It just tells you who, what, when, where, and how. Like this is what news could do these days. But you want to see something really scary? I will show you something really scary. This is probably the scariest thing that you're going to see today. I'm telling you, it's going to be scary. You ready? So you've probably seen this. Turn that music off there so I don't get in trouble. And what exactly is this crazy spinning thing that's just going at high speeds? Well, could you imagine sticking your head in that? Or how about climbing inside of it while it's spinning millions miles an hour? Well, there it is. That is what it is. That big spinning piece of mechanical bull hooky is actually just an MRI machine. So crazy. Why would you do that? Because you never know. You might get a head injury and you had to get that. Holy cow. Hi, genitals. Good to see you. Good morning, genitals. It's wonderful. Oh, it's awesome. No, why would you do that? Because people do this on a regular basis. Now you understand why those machines are so expensive and why they don't want you having your nose ring in or earrings in whenever you're inside there, because that magnet would be, quite damn painful. So you don't want to have that. Don't want to have that happening. But you want to see something really fun? This will make your day. Here we go. There you go. She's doing it 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour, 4. Getting a little lift there. 5, 6, 7. Lean forward. Lean forward. 9. And 10. Yes, that looks like fun right there. Helmet? Yeah, you got to wear a helmet. Oh, I thought it might be something practicing going into outer space. A man thought that up. I don't know. She's got the little floaties on her wrist. So she might have had something to do with it. You never know. You never know. I showed this the other day. I showed this the other day, and it is pretty damn funny. Sorry. That was the woman addition to the project. Did jump right in. Now don't laugh.
Complete like what they think I'm gonna say, because most of the time they're wrong, and so just like to let me like finish my thoughts and sentences.
That's too funny. Sorry. Today, Junior. Didn't laugh at all. Good. Yes, don't laugh. No, I got a little kick out of that because I had a really good friend of mine that had a stuttering problem. um, and he hated it whenever people would pick on him. Um, and I was like, well, the I do the same thing every so often. I will stutter. Um, uh, it was because for him, his brain was working so fast that he had this really weird way of stuttering whenever he would communicate. Because he was already thinking about it was like he was concentrating on like 100 different things, so his voice would never like match up with what he was thinking. I stuttered yesterday. Yes. Yeah, it happens. It's not like I'm trying to be mean. Just I thought it was pretty damn cute that somebody had gotten the bees and the pressure washer and the leaf blower out. I mean, you gotta admit it's pretty damn funny. Well, you don't have to. Uh, let's see. Got one in here. Not gonna show that, but don't go into unknown caves. Okay. Don't go into unknown caves. Here we go. We'll see what this one is. So don't go into unknown caves.
سند ليش قايل ايش؟ ما سند. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سند. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اسمها السند. اسمها السند. سند. كيف انت هيك سند؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. جهتك بالله رجعوا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. جهتك بالله بقول لك. لا يتكلم. هذا الحجر. هذا الحجر. هذا الحجر خطير جدا. وانه يتعامل مع ملوك الجن. هذا الحجر. وهذا لا شيء. هذا الحجر. ولكن
Don't know what he's saying.
جيب البخاخ. ارجع بسرعة. انتظر. يقول لك انتظر. الآن هذا المقبرة وهذا صديقكم سند. نعم. عليكم أن تفهموا وتعرفوا هذه الساحرة. هذه ساحرة الحجر.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Glad you got that working. You lost everything on it in the process. Oh.
طب رجعوا.
Oh, we got one for you then.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good to see you, MG. Good to see you. Oh no, what is it? I've got one. We will find it here. Give me just a second. I will pull it up for you. And where is it? Because I had this one in here for a little while. It was nope. I've got it here. I will find it. Just give me a second. Damn it. Oh boy. Hey guys, I do have to head out of here, so I'm gonna kick it really quick. I would show this to you, but I've got workers here, so it's time for me to go. So everyone have a good evening, and I will see you on the flip side. And I'll be routing you over to Moe's. Peace, y'all.